everybody, so welcome back to my channel. Today I have a very fun video. I have my first ever book haul on here. I want to emphasize the on here part, like on YouTube, because as you can tell I do buy books. So yeah, these books I have bought in January and February, so it's not just all one trip. This is like 2 months worth of books. So I want to share them with you. They are very much well, it feels like they're all over the place, but it's not that over the place. There's a lot of fantasy and some sci-fi and a little bit of regular fiction, and then I have a like a classic in here, because part of my 2024 goals is to read more classic literature. So let's get started. I do want to say though, if you cannot, like a little disclaimer, if you are not able to, or you don't have the means to buy a lot of books and things like that, it's okay. That doesn't define anybody as a reader. Being able to afford to buy books, to have, a room with technically a library room, that doesn't define anybody as a reader. I think reading a book is what defines people as a reader. Like reading is what defines somebody as a reader, and having the means to be able to afford a bunch does not make you a reader. You can go to the library and rent books there. You can borrow books from friends. You could do ebooks, that counts too. You can do audiobooks. There are many ways to read books, and yeah, I just want to preface my my book haul because I am a daughter of immigrants, and growing up going to Barnes and Nobles to go book shopping was the dream. I would maybe like once a year, my dad would take me to, or my mom, to buy me a book or two. And I treasured those books like nobody's business, and it meant a lot to me. Yeah, I just don't want people to feel like they have to go out and buy all these books. So yeah, I just don't want anybody to, one, feel left out, or two, feel less than because they can't afford, to get books, to buy books. Having a lot of books does not define you as a reader. Reading them actually defines you as a reader. So I just wanted to preface, my book haul because, yeah. Okay, so let's get started. I am not going in the order that I bought them in because honestly, I only remember getting the last 2 books, and that was because I got them yesterday. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about those first. And that is the Letters of Enchantment duology. I think that's how it's called. This is book 1 and this is book 2 of 2. So at least I think it's out of 2. I'm not sure if there's another one, but I think it's just 2 books. And in true filming fashion, my battery died, so I had to put on the second one. But as I was saying, I did pick up these 2, Divine Rivals, and then the second one, Ruthless Vows. This I rented from the library as an ebook because I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it, and I ended up loving it. So I did buy this and already read this. I loved this. I do talk about my February wrap-up video, and I go into great detail as to why I love this book. And then I'm currently reading the second book, Ruthless Vows, and so far I'm really enjoying it. It is a little bit slower than Divine Rivals at the moment. I'm about 150 pages in, but it's not boring. It is a little slower right now, but that's just because we're getting like the history and like the behind the scenes of certain things that happened in book one. Like, we're getting a lot more explanation in this book. It's also a bigger book than the first one. I think it has like 100 extra, like more pages than the first book. But yeah, I can already tell you guys should, you know, put this on hold at the library, or, you know, if you can buy it, because it's really good. The second book, the third, is just Throne of Glass. I always say the Throne of Glass. It doesn't have a the, like, the does not exist in the title. So it's just Throne of Glass. I have seen all the hype around all of the Sarah J Maas books. So I want to read it to see, you know, what all that is about, because people just seem happy reading these books. So I want to read them. I am not a spicy reader necessarily. I do skip over like the spicings. So I know that her series have a lot of spice, so I'm assuming I'm going to be skipping a lot of these, like, portions of these books. But that's okay. I think even if you skip them, you still get a full picture, and you still get, you know, if it's a good book, you're still going to enjoy the book. And that was the case for me with Fourth Wing. I really loved Fourth Wing. And I did skip all the spicy scenes. So, you know, you can still enjoy a book and skip part of it. So I'm not 100% sure what this is about. Like I said, I've seen all the hype, and I've seen people like, oh my gosh, you have to read it. I loved it, blah, blah, blah. So I'm just reading it because of the hype, but I have no idea what it's about. I'm just going to jump in. I mean, I guess I could read the back, right? It says, in a land without magic, an assassin is summoned to the castle. She has no love for the vicious king who rules from his throne of glass. But she has not come to kill him. She has come to win her freedom. If she defeats 23 murderers, thieves, and warriors in a competition, she will be released from prison to serve as the king's champion. Her name is Suliana Sardothane. The crown prince will provoke her. The captain of the guard will protect her, and the princess from a faraway country will defend her. But something rotten dwells in the castle, and it's there to kill. When her competition starts dying mysteriously, one by one, Kalina's fight for freedom becomes a fight for survival, and a desperate quest to root out the evil before it destroys the world. Thrilling and Fierce, Throne of Glass is the first book in the #1 New York Times bestselling series that has captivated readers worldwide. So there you have it, Throne of Glass. It actually sounds really intriguing. So that's one of them. The next one is Project Hail Mary. This is more of a sci-fi book. This has also been talked about a lot on booktube, and it has had the booktubers that I really love really enjoyed this book. So I believe this is also part of a series, I think. It says, Ryland Grace is the sole survivor on a desperate last chance mission, and if he fails, humanity and Earth itself will perish. Except that right now, he doesn't know that. He can't even remember his own name, let alone the nature of his assignment or how to complete it. All he knows is that he's been asleep for a very long time, and he's just been awakened to find himself millions of miles from home, with nothing but 2 corpses for company. His crewmate's dead. His memories fuzzily returning, Ryland realizes that an impossible task now confronts him. Hurtling through space on this tiny ship, he must puzzle out an impossible scientific mystery and conquer the extinction level threat to our species. And with the clock ticking down and the nearest human being light years away, he's got to do it all alone. Or does he? Project Hail Mary is a tale to discovery, speculation, and survival to rival The Martian while taking us to places it never dreamed of going. And that is Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. Sorry. It's because the R is covered, so I couldn't tell what letter that was. But the next book that I have is Cleopatra and Frankenstein. This book I had seen at Barnes and Nobles a few times, and every time I would go, I would pick it up, but it was the hardcover and I wasn't sure I would like it for that price. So I didn't really pick it up, when it first came out, and then I saw it in paperback and I really loved the cover. So that was the time to pick it up. And it was buy one get one 50% off. So I decided to give it a chance, give it a read. I'm nervous and excited because I believe this is like, it's fiction, but it's kind of like a love story, but not like, I think the characters aren't, I think it's like more like on the toxic side of relationship, I think. So I want to read it. This is a little bit out of my comfort zone. The next book I'm about to talk about is also out of my comfort zone. But that's what reading is about, right? Picking up things sometimes we know we wouldn't. And with that said, oh, I didn't even realize that, but it says it's our monthly pick at Barnes & Nobles. So I don't know if that was just my local one where I bought it from. But yeah, so this one is 24-year-old British painter Cleo has escaped from England to New York and is still finding her place in the sleepless city when a few months before her student visa ends, she meets Frank. Frank is 20 years old and self-made success, and his life is full of all the excesses Cleo lacks. He offers her the chance to be happy, the freedom to paint, and the opportunity to apply for a green card. But their impulsive marriage changes their lives and the lives of those around them in ways they never could have predicted. While Cleo struggles with depression and Frank with drinking, Cleo's best friend tries to embrace his gender identity in the wake of her marriage, and Frank's financially dependent sister arranges sugar daddy dates after being cut off. Ultimately, this chance meeting between the two strangers changes everything for better or worse. As hilarious as it is heartbreaking, entertaining as it is deeply moving, Cleopatra and Frankenstein is painfully relatable debut about the spontaneous decisions and imperfect relationships that shape entire lives. The next book I have is The Master and Margarita. So here's the cover. This cover is gorgeous, and I'm not gonna lie, that is what caught my eyes on the table at Barnes & Nobles, because this one was also buy one get one half off. This cover is just so nice, and then the back. It's beautiful. It says newly revised translation. I believe it's Russian, like a Russian tale. It's apparently the 50th anniversary. So I have no idea what it's, I read what it's about, but like I hadn't heard about this book before, so I'm excited. I love the cover. This book is the first complete annotated English translation of Mikhail Bulgakov's comic masterpiece, an audacious revision of the stories of Faust and Pontius Pilate, The Master and Margarita is recognized as one of the essential classics of modern Russian literature. The novel's vision of Soviet life in the 1930s is so ferociously accurate that it could not be published during the author's lifetime and appeared only in censored editions in the 1960s. The truths are so enduring that its language has become part of the common Russian speech. One hot spring, the devil arrives in Moscow, accompanied by a retinue that includes a beautiful naked witch and an immense talking black cat with a fondness for chess and vodka. The visitors quickly wreak havoc in a city that refuses to believe in either God or Satan, but they also bring peace to two unhappy Muscovites. One is the master, a writer Polaroid for daring to write a novel about Christ and Pontius Pilate. The other is Margarita, who loves the master so deeply that she's willing literally to go to hell for him. What ensues is a novel of inexhaustible energy, humor, and philosophical depth, a work whose nuance emerged for the first time in Dana Bergen's and Catherine Tiernan O'Connor's splendid English version. So that is The Master and Margarita. I'm actually really excited to read this. When I read what it was about at the store, I was like, okay. So pretty cover. And then the next two books, well, let's start with this one. This one is part of, I think, a trilogy. If not, it's like 4 books. I think it might be 4 books. But it is The Three Body Problem. This is a sci-fi book, and this is book 1. This has been around for a bit on booktube as well, and I wanted to pick it up because there have been people, obviously, who have really liked it, although they do say that you do have to push through the first half of this book because it kind of doesn't make sense, but then I think at the end it does make sense. So yeah, I'm excited. Set against the backdrop of China's Cultural Revolution, a secret military project sends signals into space in an attempt to make contact with aliens, and they succeed. An alien civilization on the brink of destruction captures the signal and plans to invade Earth. Now on Earth, different camps start forming, planning to either welcome the superior beings that help them take over a world seen as corrupt, or to fight against the invasion. The result is a science fiction masterpiece of enormous scope and vision. So it doesn't really say anything, but I'm excited to read it because people have really raved about it. And then, as you can tell, and I was annoyed by this, it is coming soon to Netflix. And the reason why I was annoyed is that it's not a sticker. It's actually printed on there. So that kind of sucks. It's not like these ones. Like, these ones have the buy one get one, but these are stickers and you can just literally peel off and that's it. That's printed on the book cover. So it's a little annoying, but it's okay. And then the last book I have to share is City of Nightmares by Rebecca Schaefer. I'm really excited to read this because I heard it's kind of funny, but then it's good. It says, welcome to Newham, where nightmares become reality. Ever since her sister becomes a man-eating spider and slaughtered her way through town, 19-year-old Ness has been terrified of some other nightmare murdering her, and terrified of ending up like her sister, because in Newham, the city that never sleeps, dreaming means waking up as your worst fear. Whether that means becoming a nightmare that's monstrous only in appearance, or transforming into a twisted, unrecognizable creature that terrorizes the city, no one is safe. Ness will do anything to avoid becoming another victim, even if that means lying low among the friends of the restful soul, a questionable organization that may or may not be a cult. But being a member of this maybe cult has a price. In order to prove herself, Ness cons her way into what's supposed to be a simple job for the organization, only for it to blow up in her face, literally. Tangled up in the aftermath of an explosive assassination, now Ness and the only other survivor, a nightmare boy, who Ness suspects is planning to eat her, must find their way back to Newham and uncover the sinister truth behind the attack, even as the horrors of the past loom ominously near. So, City of Nightmares. This is also, I think, an Avenged Sevenfold song, so there's that. And then it does have a sequel that I think just came out this year. So, yeah. City of Nightmares. I'm excited to read this. So yeah, that is the book haul that I have. There are books that I have rented from the library that are on hold right now. So once those come in, you'll probably hear about them in reading wrap-ups or reading vlogs, as I have no control when they'll come in from the library. Thank you so much for watching. I am now distracted by a sticker. Hope you have a great reading month or week or day. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. Thank you for watching. Bye.